Well, I'm sure you know the two of us. It's Doug and Wolf from Arizona Sports 620. Good point, Wolf. And then today we have a friend, Wayne Tormala. He's joining us today. Now, he is from the Arizona Department of Health Services. And you might have seen a previous video when Wayne came in and talked to us about the fact that he had been screened and found out that he had prostate cancer, and he was going to begin his treatments. Now we get to come back and have a little bit of a follow-up, not only with Wayne, but a little bit later we're going to talk to a couple of his doctors. Wayne, question number one is simple. How is the treatments going so far?
Treatments are going great. I've had 33 radiation treatments. I think I talked the last time about the Eclipso method, the beam radiation I'm getting. I've got 12 to go. I'm feeling great. My wife and I are enjoying life without any disruption. I get to work every day, and things are going good.
Wow.
What is the toughest thing so far that you personally have faced?
During treatment, well, I say the toughest thing is always, hearing the words you have cancer. You always wonder how you're going to react when you hear those words. So I think there was a couple hours there where I had to sort of suck it up and call my wife and have that conversation. But I would say ever since then, I've felt very empowered. I felt right away, with the support of my family and support of great physicians around me and great advice, that I feel empowered. I feel like I'm only facing this, but I'm conquering it. I feel good.
How important is that support group, to have that support group?
Support group is tremendous. I think the main thing that men need to do when they have a diagnosis of prostate cancer or any serious issue is to keep talking. Talk to your friends, talk to your spouse, your partner, talk to the people that you trust, and just kind of surround yourself with that circle of support. And then make sure you're getting good medical advice. And if you don't feel confident in your physician, go somewhere else. You really have to feel good about it. I think an important part of self-confidence and healing has to do with your own attitude. So you need to step up. We say you need to man up about these issues. You can't hide from them. You can't run away. You can't keep it a secret. Just deal with it, and life will be much better.
Talk to us about the radiation itself. I'm really good at asking ignorant questions, so I have one now. You, at this point, have more hair than me, so I'm already a little jealous. And I'm wondering, I think a lot of men hear cancer and they immediately think of what's going to happen to the rest of their bodies. Obviously, radiation doesn't do half the things to the rest of your body that chemotherapy does.
No, I'd say it hasn't had any effect like that. I think when you hear radiation, you hear cancer, I think people go back to sort of ancient times, if you will. Ancient times could even be 5 years ago, I think, in the medical field in terms of what they feel about those kinds of words. With the beam radiation, it's very targeted, with minimum risk of affecting other tissues. So the science moves pretty quickly on this stuff, I think. And so if you have a fear of those words, they're probably fears of maybe what you experienced with your parents or prior generations. I say once you get educated about the options, and there are a lot of good options for men, including watchful waiting, and including maybe it's a slow-moving early-stage cancer, and maybe you have conditions that you just want to watch for a while with your doctor, and that's fine too.
And Wayne, you're sharing your experience online, aren't you?
Yes, I am. We have a blog going on prostatepledge.com where people can go on and take the pledge to get screened and then become eligible for their own personal suite at a ball game downtown with them and 10 of their friends. So yeah, we're keeping very active about it. We want to be out there and really get people talking about it and really demythify it, I think, because the truth of it is that there are a lot of good options, a lot of effective treatment, and you can really live a full life, a healthy life, productive life without fear of reprisal of this disease.
So prostatepledge.com.
Prostatepledge.com.
We've heard the slogan before, in which it's take the pledge, know your score, score is sweet. Focus on the middle one. What does know your score mean?
Know your score means, to get the PSA test, to get a blood test. There's the two primary ways of getting an examination is a digital rectal exam and then the blood test. And the blood test gives you a score that might be a benchmark for, we need to look at this again. Maybe you need to get retested. Maybe there are other factors that are driving your PSA up. Your prostate-specific antigen is PSA. So you can look at that. You can know your score to know if you're in that area where you need to look at it more, maybe get tested, eventually maybe get an ultrasound or a biopsy, which is what I eventually had, and that's where I got my diagnosis.
So what do you have left? What do you have in front of you, Wayne?
Well, I have 12 treatments, and then I've got some follow-up visits, and we'll relook at that PSA score. have every confidence that I'm on my way to 100% health. I think it's important to note that to this day I've had no symptoms of prostate cancer, which is an important issue for men in the sense that most of us men, if we feel okay, we assume we're okay, but we know you can have hypertension, high cholesterol, glucose, even early HIV infection. There's a lot of things we can have and still, like, you know, go out and play softball, get to work every day and feel like we're getting through life. So the importance of getting screened, knowing your numbers, and then doing something about it, making an educated choice is the key to health and the key to an empowered life.
Our last question is simple. Through this process, what is something that you have learned, either about yourself or prostate cancer, that you had to go through the process to know that might be able to affect other men, to kind of wake them up or make them realize something that might be far simpler than they realized?
Well, I've learned two things, and quickly. One is that many men have sort of come out of the woodwork and talked to me about their own issues, or their fears of prostate cancer, why they don't get screened. Or I've learned from friends that they had prostate cancer and I never even knew it. So they really kept it hush. It was like a shame, or like, you know, men feel like, well, I did something wrong that causes prostate cancer, when we know that's not true. The other thing I've learned is that I can handle this. You know, I feel, with the old saying is, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. You know, and I look back in my life, a lot of things that as an early child or growing up, I thought, well, how am I going to react when that happens? You lose a parent, or you know, you go through issues, and how am I going to deal? And these things happen, and you learn that you get through it, and life goes on, and you have a good life.
Well, the term is know your score, so right now it's Wayne 1, cancer nothing, so we're doing pretty well. Now, coming up in a little bit, more with Wayne Tormala from the Arizona Department of Health Services, and he's going to spend some time with a couple of the doctors that are helping him with his battle with cancer.
Go now.